Last month I did a review on one of my favourite movie tie-in games, Disney's Tarzan for the PlayStation 1. But now there's another movie tie-in game I had a lot of nostalgia for, and I feel like I want to review that one too. Now, unlike Tarzan, I'm not really a fan of the Harry Potter series. I never read any of the books, and I only seen three of the movie adaptations, which are Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, and Prisoner of Azkaban. So what makes me want to review a Harry Potter game, you may ask? Well, let's find out. So the story is... well, just let the damn narrator explain.
There was nothing about the starry sky that night to suggest that strange and mysterious things would soon be happening. As unsuspecting muggles slept, a huge motorbike with a giant astride it tumbled down from the darkness.
You know what? This is wasting time, and you should know the story already if you've seen the movie, so again, skipping to gameplay. So since this is another movie tie-in game, what gameplay does it take from a popular game? Well, looking at it, the gameplay is just like Legend of Zelda, with spiral-related collecting and puzzle solving from Tomb Raider. Just like in Zelda, you can jump automatically as you run to the edge of a platform. Platforming does play a light role in this game, but for the most part you're just going through a linear path, solving puzzles or completing fetch quests to continue. Your health bar is basically Harry's scar, and to increase your health bar if you take damage, you'll find chocolate frogs lying around somewhere. Harry has his own attack move, which is the knockback Jinx spell. This can be used to move giant blocks out of your way or just to kill an enemy in your path. However, there are some enemies in the game that cannot be affected by your knockback Jinx spell, and defeating these guys requires some strategy. Speaking of spells, as you progress through the game, you'll need to learn a new spell from one of your teachers. Before you can do that though, you have to pass through a time limit level, in which you have to reach to your teacher before the timer expires. However, it doesn't really matter whether you manage to make it or not, so this really isn't much of an issue. Once that's done, to learn the spell, you have to follow the rhythm of tapping buttons on your controller, and you'll need to do this 3 times, and it gets harder after a while. The first spell you learn in the game is the Wingardium Leviosa spell, obviously taken from the movie counterpart. The spell can let you levitate on an object that has a yellow marker above it. However, one spell I have to bring into question is the Incendio spell. Doing this spell requires perfect timing, and believe me, you will screw up once no matter how good your timing is, and it can really slow down the game at times. However, my main gripes with the game are the Quidditch stages. Let's just say controlling Harry on a broomstick is like controlling a tank with a whirligig. If you're using a directional D-pad on your PlayStation controller, then this is not going to give you any enjoyment whatsoever. Due to the controls, flying through the rings in this game can be awkward, and you will miss some of them due to the sticky controls. However, at least this isn't what all the game is about. Right, Superman 64? Anyway, another additional quest is in each hub world you'll encounter Ron's brothers who require you to collect different flavour of jelly beans throughout the levels in each hub world, and once you have collected them all, Ron's brothers will give you a passcode to access a room behind a painting where you'll find a wizard card, which to be honest aren't really that important in the game. And yes, there are boss battles in the game as well, and whilst they are difficult at times, they're just basic and nothing really too special. Okay, one big criticism that the game gets is its graphics. Considering that the game was released at the time when the PS1 was in its dying years, graphics were kinda cutting low. However, this isn't really an issue, and the graphics aren't that horrible enough to nitpick about, although the character models and designs could use a lot of work. The levels in the game do a decent job at capturing the movie, as they're all based on the Hogwarts school. However, there were some levels like the forest level where you had to find firestones that felt really boring and didn't have much atmosphere. And the dungeon level, this was probably the most underwhelming level in the game, as it dragged on way too long and it took more time to finish. Also, one thing in the game that got me shivering as a kid was trying to collect a key in the troll's bedroom without waking the troll up. This was something I wouldn't dare to do as a kid, but as a teenager it's nothing really rewarding. But my least favourite level has to be the Diagon alley level. Even though the mini games were not that frustrating and it could have made this level decent enough, but it ruined everything for that minecart level in the bank, where you have to collect coins as fast as you can before the end of the level, and you have to dodge obstacles with care, otherwise you'll lose all your coins, and when you fail you'll have to start all over again. The music in the game, well, to be truthful, there isn't much music in the game, so the game is pretty much quiet for the most part. However, in suitable parts, music will start and it captures the movie fine enough, but it would have been better to have more music playing the levels. So overall, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the PS1 is okay, but it's not really as good as I remembered. To what the game boils down to is that it's just a generic Zelda clone with puzzles to solve and collecting to do. It has its moments though, but at the end of the day, you're probably going to end up forgetting about this game after a week after beating it. Still, it's a hell of a lot better than most of the mediocre movie-based games we get nowadays. I'd give it a low, keyword being low, bag of cool original Doritos, meaning nothing special but still good. Now, I plan on trying out Chamber of Secrets because I hear it's a big improvement. But anyway, that was my review for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the PS1. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.